तेरा राउन्ड सबै जित्यो सबै हाल्नु पनि
I can't keep pressing it. Hey. No, you don't. It just keep rotating like, and you could do like porn style, and then spin with the spinning deal.
कुन मुझे टिकटक हेरेर बसेको बे
कपिराइट लाग्ला है फेरि
म्युट हाल्ला त मलाई
चञ्चल बनाइरहेछ त के हो
मैले बबिनलाई म्युट हान्ने के बजाएर केटाहरूको भएसै लाग्दैन
ए कान खायो कान खायो
म डाइरेक्ट म्युट हानिदिइसकेँ कि बबिनलाई इजी हो कपिराइट नै खाँदैन कि भन्ने
के हुन्छ र कपिराइट खाएर
अनि हुन त भएन कान खायो क्या यता
यस्तो हो क्या कुनै कुनै कपिराइटले चाहिँ भ्यू चाहिँ काउन्ट हुँदैन क्या वाच आवरमा कुनै कुनैले हुन्छ कुनै कुनैले हुँदैन अल्सो आई केम फर्स्ट डार्को डट वाह 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 सुरुमै यति धेरै च्याट आयो म एकैछिन नहेरेको यति धेरै च्याट वाह के भयो बे ब्लर किन छ बे यस्तो What the fuck यो मेरोमा यस्तो देखियो कि ए मेरोमा देखाइरहेछ यस्तो लेबुन च्याट ओए रिवाज त्यो के भन्छ रजतसँग कुरा गर्दा मैले त्यो उसको कुरा गरेको थिएँ के भन्छ त्यो युट्युब प्रिमियमको सुन आजै गेम्समा अर्को भ्याम्पायर समथिङ से के डिएन गेम हो थाहा छैन सुन के भन्छ त युट्युब प्रिमियम लिने हो भने तैँले र 4 वाचिङ हाइट के हो यस्तो अब फ्राइडेको दिन सबजना बेरोजगार छन् अनि वाचिङ भयो होला नि मेरो अनि के भन्छ रिवाज के अरे उस चाहिँ के अरे युट्युब प्रिमियम लिने हो भने रजतले नयाँ अकाउन्ट बनाउनु पर्यो अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ तिम्रो दुईजनाले त्यसबाट चलाओ अनि के भन्छ कति बढाउने हो र योभन्दा बढी कस्तो योभन्दा बढी कति बढाउने हो र बे फुल छ हेर फुल छ फुल चिच्याएर बोले मात्रै हो के भन्छ पहिला भन्न दे म चाहिँ पहिला
13 दिनपछि हो
म चाहिँ पहिला के भन्छ उस भन्छु अनि बल्ल त लिने नलिने कुरा गरे सुन के अरे मामा म र माइजू तीनजनाले मात्रै चलाउने त्यो एउटा अकाउन्ट होइन अनि त्योपछि चाहिँ तैँले र के भन्छ रजतले चाहिँ एउटा नयाँ इमेल बना त्यसमा स्टुडेन्ट भेरिफाई गर त्यहाँबाट चलाउन थाल म मेरो कार्ड डिटेल हालिदिन्छु त्यहीबाट पे हुन्छ चलाउन थाल पैसा दे मलाई म लोड गरिदिन्छु मतलब भएन तर एउटै इमेलमा त्यसरी धेरैजनाले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो डाउनलोड गर्न नमिल्ने समस्या आएको छ फेरि म के डाउनलोड गर्न मिलेन भनेर तेरो कचकच सुन्न म रेडी छैन त्यही भएर म गर्दिनँ तँलाई चाहियो भने छुट्टै गर्ने रुख के सुन्यो र हो यस्तो यस्तो भनिदिइराख्नुपर्छ नि त सुन रुख म सुन्छु के सुन्ने के सुन्यो र हो ठिकै त सुन्ने छ आवाज सुन रुख म सुन्छु के सुन्ने राम्रै त सुन्ने छ आवाज ठिकै त सुन्ने छ आवाज एनिवे तैँले लिने हो भने तैँले र के भन्छ उसले लि रजतले लि त्यही हो त्यसमा चाहिँ रजतले स्टुडेन्ट भेरिफाई गर्नु पर्यो मेरोबाट पे हुन्छ चलाउँदै गर पैसा दे मलाई म लोड हानिदिन्छु इजी अरू कुरा चाहिएन यो विन्टर फेस्ट आयो हो त्यही भएर मैले फोर्टनाइट खोलेको अघि कोही छैन आएन त विन्टर फेस्ट ए यो मोबाइलबाट गर्न छ रिवाजलाई चटपट पुर लैजानु पर्यो के भन्ने त्यसो भए अब के भन्छ सानोको इमेलमा हटाइदिन्छु त्यो युट्युब अकाउन्ट हटाइदिन्छु म के भन्छ बाबा र मम्मी हुनुहुन्छ होइन 4जना हुन्छौँ 4जनाले चलाउने त्यसो भए हुन्छ त्यो भयो भने त्यो अब डाउनलोड रिफ्रेस भयो कि नै अब डाउनलोड चाहिँ मिल्छ होला सायद अब त्यो मैले युट्युब त्यो हटाइदिएँ नि त के भन्छ प्रिमियम मैले मेम्बरसिप क्यान्सल गरिदिएँ नि त त्यो सबै रिसेट भयो होला अनि त्यो क्यान्सल नगरेको भए रिसेट हुन्थेन होला मेबी हुनसक्छ अब त्यही हो डाउनलोड अब ग्यारेन्टी दिन्न है म अहिले डाउनलोड हुन्छ हुँदैन भनेर एड त तेरो पहिल्यैदेखि छ यो रजतको हटाउनु मात्रै बाँकी हो त्यसो भए मैले पेमेन्ट अनि एड गरे होइन त्यही म भेरिफाई गर्छु त्यही गर्छ भनेर अनि पहिला कुरा गर्छु नि भनेको आज इक्जाम थियो त्यही भएर हिजो गरिनँ अब आज गर्नुलाई के थियो अरे ACCOUNTS.GOGL
सुरु नहाने के
जिपीले कुरा गरे त्यो सटडाउन भएर पनि जिरोमै छ भयो नि यो त एक दिनै लाग्छ जस्तो
भइसक्यो 0% भएर
आफै सटडाउन भयो अरे अहिले
आफै सटडाउन भयो एकछिन छोड्दै आउँथ्यो नि फेरि खोल्न ट्राई गरे हुन्थ्यो नि फेरि चार्जमा हाल्यो
त्यस्तो गर्नुपर्ने हो
धेरैचोटि भइसक्यो मलाई त्यस्तो त्यही भएर
त्यो ल्यापटप अनुसार फरक हुन्छ क्या बाबा
मेरो लिजे नै हो क्या सोल्टै
लिजे नै भए पनि एउटै मोडलको नि अब
खतरा
फरक
गेम
फरक हुँदो
फ्री
रहेछ जस्तो लाग्यो
खतरा गेम फ्री खेल्ने आउँछ फिभिङ मिस्ट्रीमा घन्टामा अर्को गेम रहेछ त के थाहा आइरहेछ इपिक गेम्सले दिन्छ इपिक गेम्सको यति राम्रो लाग्ने भनेको फ्रीमा गेम दिइरहेको हुन्छ तर यी पातकीहरू छन् नि यी पातकीहरू यिनीहरूलाई इपिक गेम्समा सिफ्ट गर भन्दा कोही पनि मान्दैन म अब नयाँ गेम किन्ने जति स्टिम र इपिक गेम्स दुइटामा छ भने इपिकमा किन्छु स्टिममा किन्दैन यिनीहरू चाहिँ स्टिममै छन् अझै तर स्टिमको त्यो कम्युनिटी कल्चर राम्रो छ एग्रिड तर इपिकले धेरै फ्री गेम दिन्छ त्यही हो ओए भनेपछि रजत मैले तेरो हटाइदिएँ है तैँले लिन्न भने 4जनाको हुन्छ त्यसो भए मैले तँलाई चाहिँ हटाइदिएँ हुन्छ नि रजत हेलो यस नचाहे मलाई अब हो यसरी नै 4वटा कन्करेन्ट भ्युवर भएर मैले 2 घन्टा स्ट्रिम गरेँ भने अनि त्यो पछि त भइहाल्यो नि अनि हे गुगल if I stream with 4 concurrent viewer for 2 hours every day will I have enough watch hour in 365 days
Yes, you will have enough watch time in 365 days if you stream with 4 concurrent viewers for 2 hours every day. Here's the math. Total streaming time per day, 2 hours. Total streaming time
yes भन्छ फेरि 2000 भन्दा
so
watch hour पुग्दैन भन्छ
365 days per year equals 730 hours per year. Total watch time per
एक
viewer
दिनै लाग्छ
equals
जस्तो
730 hour per year. Asterisk 4 viewers equals 2,920 hours per year. YouTube's monetization requirement is 4,000 watch hours in a year. Since you'll be generating 2,920 hours of watch time,
2920 hour हुन्छ अरे अनि पुग्छ भनेर लगाइदिन्छ के हो पासवर्ड सो त गर्न भएन स्ट्रिममा वा चेन्ज भयो अरे
ब्रस गरेर आउँछु
आओ जरा हवेली में ट्याउ ट्याउ ट्याउ
लिजेन्डको यही हो प्रब्लम भने
रुक म तँलाई बुझाइदिन्छु के भनेर
अरू त ठिकै छ यो ब्याट्री चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म नचेन्ज हानेर पनि होला
रुक है देखाउँछु तँलाई
चेन्ज हाल्नु
यस्तो हेर मोनिटाइजेसन अन गर्नको लागि आफूले पैसा कमाउन सुरु गर्नको लागि अर्न भन्ने भएन यहाँ के भन्नुपर्छ भन्दाखेरि 1000 सब्सक्राइबर र 365 डेजमा 68 के भन्छ 4000 वाच आवर हुनुपर्छ मतलब एक वर्षमा 4000 घन्टा हेरे हुनुपर्छ मेरो कन्टेन्ट है अथवा सर्ट्समा चाहिँ 10 मिलियन भ्यू भए हुनुपर्छ 90 डेजमा है मेरो मैले सर्ट्स हाले नै छैन हुने नै भएन यो हेर यो चाहिँ 15 डिसेम्बरको है 15 डिसेम्बरमा मेरो 68 पब्लिक वाच आवर पुगेको रहेछ आज 20 डिसेम्बर भयो है भनेपछि 5 दिनमा मेरो कति वाच आवर बढ्यो हेर है त लु
गेम नखेल्दाखेरि चाहिँ ठिकै हुन्छ गेम खेल्यो भने चाहिँ पुरै पुरै कराउँछ है
यिनीहरूलाई म्युट हान्ने मैले रुक यहाँ 15 डिसेम्बर देखाएको छ होइन 15 डिसेम्बर यो पनि देखाएको छ है अब 16 डिसेम्बर यहाँ मेरो कति हो 23 भ्युज रुक है कपिराइट लाएर चाहिँ यो हटाइदिउँ प्रोसेसिङ हुँदै रहेछ यो जाँदैछ ल रुके यसको एनालिटिक्समा जानु पर्यो होइन 3 घन्टा 3.3 वाच आवर छ यसको है ब्याक जानु पर्यो ब्याक 3.3 है पहिलो कुरो अर्को अब यसको हेरौँ है 3.3 एनालिटिक्स आएकै छैन यो त्यो 3.3 छ त्यो बाहेक अरू छैन है यसमा है वाच आवर्स छैन रुक एकैछिन ब्याक च्यानल कन्टेन्ट रुके यसमा चाहिँ प्लानिङ ट्रिप विथ द भोइस एनालिटिक्स अँ 3.3 वाच आवर यति है मेरो यो भयोबाट अरूबाट आएको छैन है त्यही हो अब यो एक दिनमा स्ट्रिम भएको दिन भयो अरू दिन कसैले हेरेको छैन ओभरभ्यू भ्युज बढ्दै गयो कन्स्ट्यान्ट छ भ्युज है 7 भ्युज 3.7 3.3 वाच आवर्स है 27वटा च्याट मेसेज पिक छैन त्यो पछि है च्यानल कन्टेन्टमा जाउँ अब यसमा छैन वाच आवर देखाएकै छैन यसमा एनालिटिक्समा यसमा 1.5 वाच आवर्स 3 1.5 भयो है भनेपछि 4.8 वाच आवर भयो है मेरो है अब है 4.8 अनि यो 4.8 प्लस 2.2 ल भनेपछि त्यो एउटा आएको छैन 4.8 प्लस 2.2 4.8 प्लस 2.2 भनेको 0.2 भनेको 7 वाच आवर भएर चाहिँ मेरो है अनि यसमा त हुने कुरो भएन अहिलेलाई अनि यसमा चाहिँ मलाई किन देखाएन भन्ने कुरा हो क्या अहिले एनालिटिक्स यो किन देखाएन मलाई हुन त छ यो है तर धेरै भ्युज नभएर नदेखाएको होला अब छैन छैन 0.5 भन्ने मानौँ तर यसमा खासै छैन भने चाहिँ मेरो 7 वाच आवर छ है अब भनिसकेपछि मेरो कस्टमाइजेसन अर्न यहाँ 7 जोड्नु पर्यो 68 प्लस 7 भनेको 75 वाच आवर पुग्यो मेरो बल्ल मैले 4000 हुनु पर्यो अनि बल्ल मोनेटाइजेसन अन हुन्छ अनि मैले एडसेन्स अकाउन्ट मेरो लिङ्क गर्न मिल्छ यसमा एडसेन्स अकाउन्ट लिङ्क गरिसकेपछि के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि जब मेरो अब अहिले त तेरो मेरो भिडियोको अगाडि एड आएको कि नै तैँले एड ब्लकर युज गरे हैनस् मलाई थाहा छैन तर यदि मेरो भिडियोको अगाडि अहिले एड आएको छ भने त्यो मैले पाएको छैन पैसा त्यो युट्युबले राखेको छ तर जब चाहिँ मोनेटाइजेसन हुन्छ तब मेरो भिडियोमा आएको एडको 45% युट्युबले राख्छ 55% मैले पाउँछु बल्ल बल्ल त्यो हुन्छ अनि त्यो अन गर्नको लागि पहिला यति पुग्नु पर्यो वाच आवर भन्ने सुरुमा त्यही भएर यो पुग्नु पर्यो यो दुईटा मध्ये एउटा र यो एउटा दिस एन्ड अनि दिस अर दिस हो क्या याद छ नि के भन्छ उसमा सीमा चाहिँ त्यो के अरे अर स्टेटमेन्टको जस्तो यो चाहिँ हुनै पर्यो अनि यो दुईटा मध्ये एउटा हुनु पर्यो त्यही हो यो दुईटालाई अर अनि त्यसको एन्डमा चाहिँ यो त्यही हो यार कन्टेन्ट ड्यासबोर्ड तर मैले बुझेको उसबाट चाहिँ वाच आवर निकाल्न भिडियोबाट वाच आवर निकाल्न धेरै सजिलो हुँदो रहेछ भ्युज अलि आयो भने आइहाल्दो रहेछ तर वाट या यसमा वाच आवर डेन्जर कम छ वाट द फक मैले भर्खरै भिडियोमा वाच आवर ल्याउनु सजिलो छ भने अनि यहाँ हेरेको त वाच आवरै छैन लोल 1.3 वा माइनस भएछ सब्सक्राइबर राइट एनिवे त्यही हो तर भन्न खोजेको एउटा लामो 8 मिनटको भिडियो 40,000जनाले हेर्ने वाच आवर एकैछिनमा कम्प्लिट भयो त्यस्तो अब कुन गेम खेल्ने त आज यो हरामी साथी उ गरेर बसेको छ मोबाइलमा खेलेर बसेको स्किन पाउनको लागि यहाँ अरू कोही अनलाइन छैन के खेलौँ त ओ अविरल डन के अरे उस
दुईटाको नाम मिस्छु त यता
अविरल डन भने हो सर
रविडन होला नि
के भएन के अरे उस चाहिँ फिफा हान्ने भने अब यहाँ 5 जना पुगे खाकेर जसै यिनीहरू
कहाँ पुगेछ 5 जना
अनि रवि रोबिन अभियान 5 जना पुगिहाल्यो त अनि तिमी अब फिफा हान्न
के भन्छ
नत्र यसो गर त
5 जना कसरी पुग्यो
1 2 3 ए है पुगेन फक भुलिरा के अरे यसो गर त के अरे तिमीहरूको के अरे फिफा आइडी मलाई देऊ त मेरो भाइलाई दिन्छु म भाइसँग खेलेर बस्छु बरु
पखाए नाम कता केमा इपिकमा हैन त्यो
इपिक हैन इए गेम्सको देऊ न के मेसेज डिलिट गरे यार त्यति छिटो अनि जिटिए खेले नि हुन्छ यार हुन त ओके एकछिन रिवाज त गदा त
मान्छेले के छ हजुरको हालखबर भनेर मेसेज गर्दै थियो
केमा मेसेन्जर
केटीले
वाट ह्यापेन त हरामी छस् तैँले मलाई अहिलेसम्म उस बनाइदिएनस् के भन्छ थम्बनेल बनाइदिएनस् त्यही भन्यो थम्बनेल बनाइदियो भने त्यत्रो दाइले भनेकोमा मान्छस् त गधा जिटिए खेल्ने कि फिफा खेल्ने भन् म एउटा फिफा अकाउन्ट दिन्छु तँलाई अनि तँ फिफा खेल्न आइज अथवा चाहिँ जिटिए खेल्न आइज अथवा भ्यालेन्ट खेल्न आइज के गर्छस् भन् रजतले त खेल्दैन केही नि गेम तर रजत जस्तो हुनुपर्छ गेम नखेले पनि सपोर्ट देखाउन आउँछ तँ पो होस् त तँले त बनाइदिन्थिस् नि त तर अब के गर्ने यस लो बना के हो जाऊं यस रिमुभ तँ प्राइमेरी ओनर होस् तँ अझ नि प्राइमेरी ओनरमा छस् यस अब यहाँ 4 जनाको मात्रै छ उड्डा पंजाब कति भयो यार मैले युट्युब प्रिमियम लिन थालेँ टाइम पनि भयो होला अब त्यो स्टुडेन्ट भेरिफाई गर्ने भन्यो भने त आफ्नै इमेलमा लिने नि त्यो कसैसँग सेयर गर्दैन 3.5 डलर हाल्नुपर्छ ल मेरो स्टुडेन्ट भेरिफाई गर्नुपर्ने टाइम आइसकेछ फ्रिकिन हेल अरे यार मलाई यो डब्लुएसडी एड्रेनमा स्टुडेन्ट भेरिफाई गर्नै मन छैन कि फेरि 1 वर्ष यसमै जान्छ फेरि या बाबा मम्मीको त राखेर मेरो इमेल के हुन्न तँ कुन खेल्न आउँछस् भन्न रिवाज तँ जुन खेल्न आउँछस् त्यही खेल्ने ल म त जुन नि आउँछु ल जिटी आएछ त्यसो भए ल जिटी अनलाइन आइज जिटी अनलाइन खेल्ने या किन साइन इन गर्नु लगाएको मलाई फेरि किन साइन इन गर्नु लगाएको मैले स्टुडेन्ट सब्सक्रिप्सन क्यान्सल गरेर रिएक्टिभेट त गर्न मिल्न पर्ने हो यार मलाई किन स्टुडेन्ट फेरि भेरिफाई गर्न लगाएको ए रिवाज सुन यार म $2 मा आफै खर्च गरौँ के गर्नु $2 भनेको धेरै महँगो हो तर बाबा मम्मीले पनि युज गर्नुभयो भने त्यो सस्तो हुन जान्छ कतालाई म मेरै इमेल दिन्दिनँ है मलाई पौडेल एड्रिन गर्न मन छ मलाई यो के भन्छ स्टुडेन्ट फेरि रिभेरिफाई गर्न लगाए तर मलाई मेरोले भेरिफाई गर्न छैन बिकज मलाई अर्को इमेलमा चाहिँ भेरिफाई गर्नु पऱ्यो क्या अर्को इमेल युज गर्नु पऱ्यो भेरिफाई गर्नलाई आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु भेरिफाई सेयर आइडी मलाई यहाँ फेरि यसमा थिएँ ए बाइ द वे तेरो पहिला चाहिँ जिटिएमा युज गर्थेस् त्यो ह्याकर युज गर्थेस् भने अल नगरे एन्टी चिट आखा अहिले तँलाई ब्यान हानिदिन्छ पहिला मैले त्यही गरेर हाइस्टमा चाहिँ रिपिटेडली हाइस्ट हाने गरेको थिएँ तर आजकल हाने होइन त्यो उ गरिदिन्छ चाहिँ हुन्छ यो घट्यो केही नखाल्यो होला केही नगऱ्यो होला भक्चोदी गऱ्यो होला म त्यत्रो भ्युवर हुन्छ है गर्न थालेँ यहाँ अनि त्यसै हुँदैन भ्युवर स्युवर जति केही पनि के भयो कन्ट्रोलर डेल चल्दै चल्दैन अब फेरि ल खै त लगइन गर्ने ठाउँ के हो खै अरे यार त्योभन्दा पहिला मैले यसमा स्टुडेन्ट भेरिफाई गर्थेँ मलाई याद छ यसमा स्टुडेन्ट भेरिफाई गर भन्छ कि नै मेरो भन्ने कुरा अनि पहिला मेरो साथीकोले मेरो भेरिफाई गर्थेँ अब आफ्नोले भेरिफाई गर्नु मिल्छ सिएँ त अब पर्चेज एन्ड मेम्बरसिप ओके इफ आई वान्ट टु रिन्यू गेट स्टुडेन्ट प्लान कन्टिन्यू सो बेसिकली मलाई रिभेरिफाई चाहिँ गर्नुपर्ने छ ओके मोबाइलबाटै गरेँ भेरिफाई ATH India Kathmandu College Kathmandu first name Paudel date of birth July 11 2003 email ID पासवर्ड याद छैन यार अब फक मैले फोनमा राख्न त राखेको छु अकाउन्ट होइन म फोर्टनाइट पनि खोलिरहेको छु त्यो पनि खोलिरहेको छु आजकल ल्यापटप अब राम्रो भएपछि त दुईवटा गेम खोल्यो भने अफेक्ट नहुने यादै नहुने यार मतलबै भएन adrin.vct 78015 ए जनवरीतिर हो गर्नु पर्ने ओए रिवाज कता गइस हेर्न म्या पाका सबै स्ट्रिमै ध्वस्त भइसक्यो कोही पनि छैन ए जिरो कङ्करेन्ट भ्युवर देखा त्यही पनि त यहाँ चस के हो गएर बुझ्दिनँ रिवाज कहाँ गयो खै जिटी हेलेनी हुन्छ आउँछु भनेर भन्यो यहाँ खोलेछु छैन त्यो कता फेरि डिसेम्बरमा मेरो स्टुडेन्ट स्ट्याटस भयो मैले फेरि डिसेम्बरमा लगइन गरेको छु ल ठिकै छ अर्को डिसेम्बरमा हुनु पर्यो यहाँ हेरै रुकै अब यहाँ देखाउन नि मिल्दैन फेरि त्यो स्टुडेन्ट इज भेरिफाइड भन्छ है उतातिर यतातिर चाहिँ नट भेरिफाइड यहाँ देखाउनु थाल्छ स्विच अकाउन्ट अनि यही अकाउन्टमा किन्ने हो गेट युट्युब प्रिमियम स्टुडेन्ट प्लान लिने रिएक्टिभेट ओ बाबा स्टुडेन्ट भयो भेरिफाई भयो included tax amount ल ठिक छ सबैजना सब्सक्राइब हैन कार्डले अब पेमेन्ट प्रोसेसिङ भयो वाह कहाँ गयो रिवाज ओइ जिटिए नै छैन ल्यापटप उ थोडा सा फ्यानका भने जस्तो छ नि त्यो याद छ नि त हैन त्यो गाली हैन हो त्यही याद आयो मलाई के खेल्ने त त्यसो भए भ्यालोरेन्ट फोर्टनाइट के छ त्यससँग त्यसो भए
Man, that fucking ocean. I could look at that all day.
Howdy, friend.
Hey!
अब त्यसो भए मैले बन्द गरिदिएँ त्यसो भए जिटिए अनलाइन अनि कस्तो जाने जिटिए मुन थोरीको भिडियो बनाउने भ्युज आउँछ भनेको छट भ्यालु मात्र छ अनि के काम भयो त अनि डाइरेक्ट भ्यालेन्टाइज भनेको हुन्थ्यो यत्रो टाइम कुर्नु पर्थेन ए यति अनअप्टिमाइज्ड गेम छ यो 5 मिनट लोडिङ स्क्रिनमा राखिदिन्छ यस एक्जिट चाहिँदैन मलाई ल त्यो ऊ हेर के भन्छ युट्युब प्रिमियम आइसक्यो फिर्ता युट्युब प्रिमियम भइसक्यो तू थोड़ा सा बहन का रिमेम्बर द्याट गाली सर या द्याट गाली फर यु टु भाइलाई पनि त्यही गाली दिएछु भर्खरै बिकज त्यसले जुन गेम खेल्ने नि हुन्छ भने ल जिटी अनलाइन आइज भने ए ल्यापटपमा जिटिए छैन गर्छ अहिले होइन भ्यालुमा आइज भन्छ त्यस्तो ए उस पनि अर्को अप्सन भनेको ऊ पनि छ के भन्छ फिफा मेरो साथीको अकाउन्टमा म खेल्छु मेरो अकाउन्टमा त खेल फिफा रुको स्ट्रिम म्युट हुन्छ है त एकैछिन बेली मे ओए ऊ के खेल्ने भन् त छिटो रिवाज यो के भन्छ ल्याग हुन्छ होला के त नि फिफा खेल्ने कि भ्यालोरेन्ट खेल्ने कि के खेल्ने
मृत्यु भएको मान्छेको परिवारले क्रिया खर्चमा समेत भ्रष्टाचार
यसमा होइन यस्तो एउटा डर्टी जोक हान्न मिल्छ होइन तर आइएम कन्ट्रोलिङ माइसेल्फ म फोर्टनाइट खोले यार त यस्तो पाराले आउँदैनस् कुनै पनि गेममा म फोर्टनाइट खेल्छु बरु एकछिन 0 भ्युअरमा छ यार भ्युअर हुँदा हुँदै पनि 0 भ्युअर देखेर आए अघिदेखि
Okay, so if I got good luck, it would give me the mother gap right here. Just come on, give me mother gap, please give me mother gap. What? Alright, so I don't normally buy Royale passes, I like playing this game, really free to play, but I'm only gonna buy the Royale pass just so I could brief up my chances, so I could get my favorite card on Clash Royale. Now, you guys know if I don't get this card, this game is actually scamming me. Video games, she said $15. Okay, perfect video game. I'm literally using my mama's credit card. $12 for the diamond pass. Oh my god, that's just not worth it. Yes, pass Royale unlocked. Let's go, please. So if I'm being quite honest, this is my least favorite Royale pass they've ever done. Like the snowball evolution, I generally don't enjoy this. I'm literally here for only a couple things. The get mother gap witch, and if I don't get that, this game is an absolute scam. So first of all, let's just hurry up and go to this. This better give me the mother gap witch. That's all I want to see is the mother gap witch, please.
त फोर्टनाइट डाउनलोड गरेर त फोर्टनाइटमा आउँदासम्म भोलि बिहान हुन्छ त्यति बेला चाहिँ म के भन्छ उसको स्ट्रिम हानिरहेको हुन्छु के भन्छ त्यसको नाम एनपिएलको स्ट्रिम हानिरहेको हुन्छु
Okay, really, dude? Okay, there's no way, right? There's actually no way. Mother gap witch. This is literally a legendary chest, I think. Come on, mother gap. Oh my god, really, dude? Why won't it just give me the... Okay, hold up. This actually has to be a scam. There's no way, right? There's just no way. Come on, mother gap. What? Okay, come on. Oh my god, dude, give me the Freakazoid. Give me the Freakazoid this time. Really, it's gonna keep giving me the sexy arch queen? Okay, come on. There's no way, right? There's just no way. Okay, come on. Please, mother gap, please. Tell me I didn't just waste my money right now. Please tell me I didn't just waste my money. Come on, mother gap. And maybe in here. Maybe it's in here. Maybe she's lingering and hiding in here. Come on, mother gap. Please. Oh my god, I'll be such a good boy, bro. I'll be such a good boy. Please, why not? Why is this card so rare? Okay. Okay, it has to be in this one. It has to be in this one, but it would get... Oh my god.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to Hermitcraft Season 10 2.0. You might be wondering, Scar, what is this Hermitcraft Season 10 2.0? Well, that means that we are finally starting our mega base and a whole new...
भगवान तेरो ल्यापटपमा फोर्टनाइट ए लो पर्फर्मेन्स मोड डाउनलोड गरेछस् कि के गरेछस् डाउनलोड गर्ने बेलामा त्यहाँ तैँले उ गर्न मिल्छ घटाउन मिल्छ रुकै यहाँ त्यहाँ डाउनलोड गर्ने बेलामा होइन त्यो के भन्छ कुन ड्राइभमा डाउनलोड गर्नेको आधारमा अप्सन्स हुन्छ होइन अप्सन प्रेस गरेर तैँले त्यो हाई रेजोल्युसन प्याक डाउनलोड गर्न छ भने 15 GB डाउनलोड गर्न पर्दैन अझै पनि क्यान्सल गरेर गर यदि त्यो गरेको थिएनस् भने बिकज त्यो एकदम छिटो हुन्छ 15 GB डाउनलोड गर्नु नपरेको हाई रेजोल्युसन तैँले उसमा के भन्छ के अरे मोबाइलमा पब्जीमा पछि गेमभित्र गएर हाई रेजोल्युसन प्याक डाउनलोड गर्छस् नि त्यस्तै यहाँ तैँले सुरुमा डाउनलोड गर्ने बेलामा हाई रेजोल्युसन प्याक डाउनलोड गर्दिन भन्न पाइन्छ खै देखा त स्क्रिन शेयर गर अथवा के गर फोटो पठा मलाई मेरो अघिदेखि क्यामेरा अड्क्या रहेछ भनिदिनु छैन हैन पारा त छुट्टै छ नि
So there's been a huge debate about bots in Fortnite OG. As you guys know, Fortnite brought bots back into the game because the game was way too sweaty. As in, Fortnite OG was way too sweaty for a lot of people coming back to the game. And now people think it's ruined because wins are easier and they're running into less players. I'm gonna be honest, I've been playing Fortnite OG after they added bots, and I don't run into too many bots in solos, but in squads, they're a little bit more, noticeable. At the end of the day, Fortnite has stats and knowledge about player behavior that we don't. And while I prefer to go against real players all the time, I'd rather go against real players. I do not want to face bots. I understand why some players need to have bots in their lobbies. I just personally don't want bots in my lobbies. Now, they did just announce that Fortnite Ranked OG is dropping on the 16th. And of course, in Ranked, after you pass Platinum, there can't be any bots, so it's all real players. I do wonder what the player count will look like for Fortnite OG Ranked, and if it'll be enough. Little guy plus, oh, is that how they're made? That's kind of violent, bro. No, that's not how it's made. Nah, not the blender, nah. Is this a flex?
How's this for a real-life Minecraft build? For 15 years, your imagination and creativity has shaped the world of Minecraft. Let me share the scale of what you've achieved. You've defeated 10,600,000 creepers a day, enough to reach the height of nearly 1 million London clock towers. You've shorn 3,950,000 sheep a day, enough to fill 30,777 double-decker buses. You've placed 363,000 meters of rail per week, enough to stretch from Earth to the moon. You've baked nearly 6,900,000 cookies every 3 days. That's enough to cover Wembley football pitch. Over 15 years, you've placed trillions of blocks. Limitless creation, shaped by millions of imaginations.
अस्ति यो डिस्काउन्टमा भएन किन्न पर्ने रहेछ एम्पायरलाई त्यति बेला पैसा छैन किन्न मन थियो के गर्ने मेसेन्जर रुख म हेर्छु खै के पठाएकै छैनस् तैँले फेरि मेरो डिस्कनेक्ट भयो जस्तो
Rohit, you really crossed the limit this time.
I'm so sorry, Kanu. I promise. वापस नहीं होगा. I don't even know what I did. Lol.
But just to be clear,
Yeah.
क्या वापस नहीं होगा?
Towel. I promise. गीला towel bed पे वापस नहीं छोड़ूंगा.
Good. Thank you.
I thought you know I lost my ring.
Rohit, give me your hand, na.
और ये बस ऐसे पोस्ट करने के 20 लाख लेता है. अगर सेंटेड कैंडल से घर जल गया तो जैस्मिन की खुशबू आएगी क्या?
Rohit.
अगर ट्रैविस ने रोबोट का कैच ड्रॉप किया होता तो वर्ल्ड कप हमारा होता.
सुनो मम्मा आ रही है.
कितने टाइम के लिए?
एक हफ्ते के लिए मिनिमम. क्यों?
बिजनेस ट्रिप का बहाना बना के गोवा घुमाता हूँ. Oh shit, maybe I forgot to tell you. I have a very important work trip next week.
Oh God. Don't worry, I'm meeting book नहीं यार. Call when you're back from your work trip. चलो तुम्हारी पैकिंग करें.
नहीं, I'll come with you. Oh yeah, just look at her curves. क्या shape है. Moves so sexy.
Excuse me. Very weird.
Don't listen to Helios, baby. You're beautiful. No. You chill. I got this. Italy and Rasam coming later.
Okay.
एम्बेसी रसम पाउडर कौन सा है? पिंक डब्बा होगा.
पिंक वाला नहीं ढक्कन. I mean पिंक डब्बा में चिली पाउडर है. मैं भी कंफ्यूज हो जाती हूँ सोडा की बता दूँ.
Yeah, I knew that. You please go and sit.
Okay.
अगर बेकिंग सोडा नहीं है तो इडली में सोडा डाल दो क्या?
नहीं. I really want to cook for you. तुम जाके बैठो ना.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Really, please.
Okay. Never be good at the job you don't want. अब तो
त्यो अनटिक यस हाई रेजोल्युसन प्याक्स र अनटिक गर्ने
I'm so excited.
त्यो फोर्टनाइट
जल्दी
कोर
मलाई
एन्ड ब्याटल रोयल त्यति हो एडिसनल ल्याङ्ग्वेज के गर्नु पर्दैन त्यति भएपछि हुन्छ
कुछ मैंने ओवरटाइम करना है. It's okay.
त्यही 17 GB डाउनलोड
वैसे
गर्न
ये
देखिस
मेरे ऑफिस के कितने पास है प्लस मेरे नेबर्स कितने स्वीट है. It's so rare. And anyway, next thing मेरा प्रमोशन हो जाएगा तब ले लेंगे.
बल्ल आए मेसेज तेरो
अब फ्रेंच में बोलो क्या? स्माइल करते हुए एकदम बैंग बैंग वाले ऋतिक जैसा लगता है.
बोले बहुत वाला.
Yeah.
फोटो में ऐसी बात में जो आके चली आई खुला है वही बात जो दुहाई है दुहाई फोटो में
लो
I'm going to jam the electro.
लो ए यसमा पो हेर्दै रहेछु म त्यही भएर म त कहाँ यार मसँग युट्युब प्रिमियम छ भनिरहेको एकजुन अनि भुलिरा
Women's pockets. If they even exist, they are usually too small to hold anything useful. You think this is an exception, right? Wrong, because I DIY'd my own pocket since the original one barely fit a phone. Sideways. Why? To figure it out, I'm measuring pockets out in the wild, fact-checking conspiracy theories with history, and solving my pocket problem once and for all. At some point, this is gonna go terribly wrong. I can feel it coming. Thank you to Delete Me for sponsoring a portion of this video, and to our patrons for supporting the channel. So, I've been buying pants for most of my life, and despite my best efforts, I usually like that meme. You see that? I too cannot fit my hand in my pocket properly, let alone my phone or my wallet, useful things. And you might be wondering, why not just buy a purse or a sling, right? It's out of principle. Because you know that conspiracy theory about how the pants sold in women's sections have really small pockets to force the people who shop there to buy purses instead? I hate that, but I think about it every time I interact with my pockets. And one such time, kind of recently, I turned on my critical thinking and realized, that doesn't make sense. Why would seemingly every single pants company conspire to prop up the purse industry? Especially since a lot of these companies don't have a stake in it. And if they did, then why not take it a step further and shrink men's pockets so they also have to buy bags? The way this realization has shaken my sense of reality. Because if the fashion companies are behind this, then why are my pockets so small? I started by looking past the conspiracy for a second and actually trying to figure out if the things I've complained about for years is even true. Are women's pants pockets really disproportionately small? Like, there's a world where this is just a huge misunderstanding, right? What if pants pockets are just proportional to pant size? And if people who are buying women's pants are smaller on average than men, then their pockets would be too. Except I found this article by The Pudding. They're an incredible data journalism publication, and they measured 80 pairs of jeans from the 20 most popular brands in the US. They found that pockets sold in the women's section were 48% shorter and 6.5% narrower than men's. That's suspicious, but the point of hypothesis is to do everything you can to disprove it, right? And the problem with this report is that it only focused on jeans with a 32-inch waist. This evidence for a pocket problem might change or even vanish if we look at a wider range of styles and sizes. Someone should do that. I did. I went to the local thrift shop, which had a conveniently randomized selection of brands, styles, and sizes. For 2 hours, I looked at jeans, joggers, and dress pants across the full spectrum of sizes they had available. I lost count of how many pairs of pants I looked at, but it struck me how each pair contained a fragment of someone else's history, now up for sale. And while I was fine for a pair of pants, when it comes to your personal information, it's a different story. Luckily, there's Delete Me, who are sponsoring this portion of the video. Delete Me is a local creator for your hate me dog. Now, let's see what I learned from the thrift store. Once I got back from the thrift store, I loaded the pictures on Photoshop. I was able to use the ruler to correct for any perspective distortion and scale. I also used it to convert pixels to inches so I could document the approximate surface area of each pocket. Now, a lot of pockets, especially men's ones, have this kind of sloped bottom. So to approximate the area, I'm using a height made of the average of the long and short ends. After that, I recorded the waist sizes, which was very easy for men and incredibly inconvenient for women's pants because a bunch of brands use numbers like size 00, which doesn't make sense and also isn't standardized across brands. And somehow that wasn't the most infuriating thing I learned from this experiment because guess what? Pants sold in the women's section do in fact have disproportionately small pockets. So after analyzing 69 pairs of pants, no, that wasn't intentional. Here's what I found. In this graph, we see the size of the pants mapped against the size of the pockets for men's pants and women's pants. And you see this gap here? That's statistically significant, except for sweatpants, which actually have pretty consistent pockets across genders and sizes. But for all the other pants, buying from the men's section gets you like an extra 17 square inches of pocket. That's like a whole other phone. Just look at these pockets. Wait, I'm gonna move to the men's one. Now there's enough space to see me. The deeply outrageous thing about this photo is that these pants are the same size. What? This isn't just a thinly veiled euphemism for the gender wealth gap. It's just that for the same pant size, men's pockets are just deeper for some reason. Why? So since we just debunked my hypothesis, I decided to hear what my friends thought. How big are your pockets?
What measurement would you like me to respond to this with?
Melissa, how big are your pockets?
Okay, it depends on the pair of pants. Like, some of them, I can fit my hand in. Some of them don't exist. One pair of pants that I do have that has pockets are just extremely oversized, though.
Show me the pockets.
Look, full hand.
Oh my god, that's so much.
Also, these jeans are so oversized.
Putting your hand in your pocket is the bare minimum. Like, you have to be able to fit things in your pockets.
How much are you carrying?
Everything you need for your quests.
You can fit everything you need for your quest in your pocket?
I don't understand.
This is my phone, right? Goes in my pocket. Yeah. And then,
Oh,
like,
you went out of the L. Do it again. Wait.
yeah, I can. Hey.
I need you guys to see how big my pockets are, okay? Ready? Ready for this? That's what I'm rocking right now.
Can you put a pen in your pocket?
There's no space in there.
I got my pen in my pocket. But I need something to write with. I got my notebook.
No.
I can put my notebook in my pocket.
Where do you hold all of your stuff, Melissa?
A purse like a normal person? Do you think I could fit all of this in my pocket?
What do you keep in there?
You just need to be prepared. So like, I got a notebook, I got my pencil case.
Hey, you ever want to play baseball? You can.
What the hell?
Chapstick in your pocket? Do you ever need half a liter of water?
No. No.
Spare notebook, the daily planner, and then we got this stuff for all emergencies.
मलाई त्यो आइप्याड खल्टीमा हालेर माथि घर गएको दाइकोमा गएको याद छ कि मेरो त्यो सर्ट्स यत्रो आइप्याड यो आइप्याड अट्टी पकेट थियो यार बल्लै आधा मलाई iPad.
Sometimes you need hand sanitizer, sometimes you need a little mirror, a little spare perfume.
Do you ever want to play some video games at your friend's house? Do you want your glasses case?
I feel like I'm discovering sexism.
Lip balm, another lip balm, some hand cream.
How are you carrying so much?
Vloggy camera. Okay, wait, this shouldn't be in there.
Is that a camera charger?
Why do you have that?
Well, listen, you expect me to put all of this in my pocket?
You want some dried
There's no
mango
more
gently
space. There's
baked?
no more room.
There's no more space.
There's so much space in your pocket. I'm ready for my quest.
Looking like Mrs. Incredible. So I had a theory, okay? Women's pants are generally smaller, so the pockets must be generally smaller. But that doesn't explain the sheer difference that exists. Because we're out here fighting to fit a hand in a pocket.
I didn't realize it was this bad, to be honest.
I just don't think
I'm just a bit thirsty.
that pants being smaller really justifies how much smaller the pockets are. You are the worst person in the world.
Sorry, what were you saying?
My theory is if they wanted, who's they? I don't know. If Big They wanted to get women to buy purses, it's working because I love my bag. I'll be honest, I am so doubtful that a big pocket on my pair of pants would stop me from buying a purse.
Why do you think the difference exists, Tom?
I think there's like maybe some degree of like work pants were like the original denim trousers. My guess would be that like women's trousers were like designed to be fashionable and men's trousers were like just worse versions of good work pants.
Interesting.
You're saying interesting as if I have answers. I'm just saying things.
But it does make sense. Hold on. You might be onto something. Both of these are good leads as to like where I should go next. So thank you guys. Also, Tom, in your pockets.
If you ever want a snack, I've got some snacks.
I'm leaving. Bye. So that whole conversation made me realize two things. First, I'm not trying to pocket max. Taha really showed that you have too much of a good thing. Instead, oh my god, I want
want something in between what I have now and the TARDIS. Specifically, I want exactly enough space for my everyday carries. That's my phone, wallet, keys, AirPods, lip balm, multi-tool, notebook, and pen. Yeah, this seems reasonable, right? Anyway, the second thing I realized is that in order to know why this pocket problem exists, I need to know when it started. Because Melissa's hypothesis implies that we once had pocket equality before Big They introduced purses. On the other hand, Taha suggests that it's always been this way. So I need to figure out who's right. So I hit up the library and found two incredibly useful but specific books: Pockets, An Intimate History of How We Keep Things Close by Hannah Carlson, and The Pocket, A Hidden History of Women's Lives by Barbara Berman and Ariane Benito. While tracking these down, the library employee literally said to me, "Wow, there are 2 books about pockets?" I felt the same. Anyway, I spent the next 2 days piecing together 700 years of fashion history to figure out where women's pockets went wrong. And I still don't know the answer. Don't leave, I can explain. The issue is that there have been like 3 major turning points in women's pocket history that have influenced the style, shape, and size of the pocket. And I'm not entirely sure which one is behind the problem we have today. Luckily, we can figure it out by making them. That's why I'm carrying all of this. Let's do this. We are doing all of this on my floor because I don't own a table big enough to cut fabric. Anyway, the word pocket showed up around the 1300s and referred to this little purse or pouch that people kept around their waist. I found this website, manuscriptminiatures.com, which has a bunch of medieval illustrations, and in them you can see these small belt bags carrying daggers or coins. So interestingly, these old school pockets were gendered. Their shape could depend on your functional needs, and their material could depend on your social class. I chose leather because I'm like a working person. Forgot that leather is really hard to sew. I should have known that I'm actually just a YouTuber at heart. So now I need to stab individual holes into this and then sew it. I'm using this all from my bookbinding phase and this linoleum cut from my stamp making phase. Who said having a million hobbies isn't useful? Let's go! Ta-da! There's a little drawstring cord. Now it's time to see if my stuff actually fits inside here. Start off with the notebook, the biggest thing. I'll let me know if I fail right away. Promising. Okay, we got our phone, AirPods, pen, multi-tool, lip balm, and keys. In fact, this is deeply satisfying. Like I said, this pocket predecessor wasn't associated with a specific gender, but that did affect the way you styled it. Men would wear it directly on their belt. Like this. It kind of looks like a medieval fanny pack. Anyway, that wouldn't be the case for women who would actually dangle it around mid-thigh. Like this. This does kind of suck. Like I give this pocket a 4 out of 10. Whether I dangle it or wear it around my belt, it just feels kind of unsafe, which is probably one of the motivations behind our first major turning point: moving pockets inside our clothes. At first, this meant just tucking the bag beneath your tunic or dress and accessing it through a slit in your clothes. But then men's fashion evolved into pants and suits, likely from a tradition of protective padding underneath plate armor. On the other hand, women continued to wear dresses. So over the years, tailors actually began to integrate pockets into men's clothes, even dedicating some to specific objects like pocket watches or coins. That is actually why some of your pants might have one of those tiny pockets in the front, like this. On the other hand, women's fashion saw a far less drastic evolution, including their pockets. Okay, so I've got my little sewing machine, and then I got my pocket pouches. They tend to have really cute designs, so I found this little pumpkin print. It'll be cute, trust me. So we got the front design attached to like the backing. Now there's something funky about these pockets where you don't access it from the top, you actually access it through a slit in the front. Boom, I just need to do all this. Okay. So while men have their pockets integrated into their clothes, like this, women got these cute little pouches that they would tie around their waist. So now I need to add something to tie it around my waist. I think I'm doing a great job, guys. No! My bobbin ran out of thread before I was finished. We're back. Done! Moment of truth. Probably should have tested this beforehand. These are called tie-on pockets, and you just tie them on. Ah, that's so cool! Let's see if stuff fits inside of them. Get our notebook. Get in there. Oh, room to spare. Get your wallet. You know what? I have a second pocket. Let's put the AirPods in there. Let's put the phone in there. Multi-tool. Go into this one. Don't want to scratch my screen. And pen, key. Boom. Lip balm. Boom. Whee! Now there are times where women would wear their tie-on pockets over their clothes if they needed to access it regularly, but most of the time they would wear it underneath their clothes so it was a little bit more secure than the pouch. Boom. This is amazing. I'm giving these pockets like an 8 out of 10. I have so much room. Oh my god. I think the best thing about these pants is that I always forget to empty out my pockets before I put stuff in the laundry. Would be less of a concern with these. Interestingly, when these things were washed, they were classified as underwear or like an undergarment. Now if I wore these every day, I'd be a little bit concerned about how durable this strap is, but overall, these are great. So why did we get rid of them? Well, the second major turning point was when a change in fashion pushed pockets back outside of clothes, at least women's clothes. This design didn't have tassels, and that is because we are in the Regency era. Think Jane Austen. There was this new style of dress that hung a lot closer to your body, which made tie-on pockets like this sometimes too bulgy to wear. So instead, some women began to carry their things in purses or reticules, which is what we're gonna make. Okay, so I'm using this kind of thin fabric, so I'm going to layer it with this thicker fabric so that this bag doesn't look like a weird, sad, floppy mess. 4 panels. Now I just need to put them together, I guess. And then at the corners, I'm gonna add little tassels. I can kind of just stitch this here, and then I'll have a little tassel. I'm a little bit stressed. I did that wrong. It's inside of the bag. And there we have it. I need to put the stuff inside of it. Phone, AirPods, lip balm, notebook, pen, keys, and multi-tool. And ta-da, there we have it. They would wear it like wrapped around their hand like this. Ta-da! That looks awful. Compared to the other pockets I've made so far, this sucks. So these things were generally embroidered or beaded. In my case, I have all these tassels because they look nice. They're actually one of the precursors to the modern fashion handbags we have today, which is really interesting because you know that conspiracy about how we ruined pockets in order to push purses? Well, it turns out we probably invented purses because we ruined pockets. For that, and also because I did a terrible job, I am giving the reticule a 2 out of 10. Now, fashion eventually moved past that Regency era dress, but I see the reticule as this sort of symbolic fracturing in Western women's clothes because it's important to note many women never abandoned their tie-on pockets. They continued using it until the 1900s, but it meant others found that they preferred going pocket-free. This back and forth between fashion and function continued into our third major turning point, the bicycle. Or when women finally got to wear pants. So for this one, I'm not just making pouches or purses, I'm making a whole pair of pants. Never done that before? How hard can it be? Anyway, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, 2 things were happening: the bicycle boom and the suffragette movement. Now, dresses got in the way of both of those things, literally because it's hard to bike in a dress, but also symbolically. So some women dropped their dresses in favor of bicycle suits or suffragette suits, which had pants and even pockets. I'm going to make a pair of pants now. I don't know how to just make a fun, easy video. Promising start. These are belt loops, and then this is the front of the pants. With that done, it's time to start adding the pocket, and look at this sizable number. You know, if I make a pair of pants out of this video, I don't even care if this video gets views. I just get a pair of pants. At some point, this is gonna go terribly wrong. I could feel it coming. We've got a zipper on one leg. Really coming to terms with the fact that I don't know how pants work. I found a tutorial. I'm gonna trust the process. I have a feeling the process is gonna fail me, but we'll see. No, but this is supposed to be on the other side. Oh, what if it's like this? Oh, hold on. The process might work. I just need to review this tutorial. Like, these are the front of the pants. Theoretically, if I do this, they should have never let me have this technology. It has been an hour. I still don't have pants. How are people buying pants for like $10 on the internet? There's so much work. We have the front of the pants, we have the back of the pants, and I'm gonna put it together, including the pockets. This is taking so much longer than I thought it would. Ugh. I'm finishing that tomorrow. Almost done, but I'm tired. Like the women were with their bad pockets. It is a new day, and I have new pants. Let's go! Much like the suffragette suits, these pants are meant to have the silhouette of a skirt, but then, boom, they're pants with, boom, pockets. But does it fit all my stuff? Phone, notebook, pencil, that's a pen, wallet, multi-tool, keys, lip balm. Kind of a miracle I haven't lost this in the process of making this video. AirPods, and you know what? Bonus round? Kobo e-reader. Who's ready for their quest now, Taha? I gotta give these pockets a 10 out of 10. Unlike the folks in history who saw these as an unnatural attempt by women to be more like men. Unfortunately, that anxiety was supercharged by the battle for women's rights. I guess you could call it identity politics. This whole debate around women in their pockets was messy and confusing and unfortunately unresolved, at least in time for the advent of mass-produced clothing, which is when I think women's pockets went wrong. Because after making all of these pockets, oh my god, now this is luxury. But yeah, after making all of these pockets, I've come to appreciate them as experiments, ones in response to the pretty strict fashion constraints women have been held to over the past 700-ish years. Unfortunately, just as they were starting to explore the functional integrated pockets that had long since become the standard for men, industrialization basically hit pause. I have found articles from the 1800s with basically the same pocket discourse we have today. It sucks. And while there have been women's pants with decent pockets, from these to some I found at the thrift store, they're probably always going to be a nice surprise instead of the expected standard, since fast fashion has only deprioritized functionality in our clothes. So I guess that's it. Women's pockets are useless because they were never given the chance to evolve into something useful. And unfortunately, we kind of just need to accept that. Unless
you want to buy men's pants and alter them, keep the existing pockets, and change the pants themselves. It's easier for a woman to go into men's pants than men's into women's because of how the pants are made.
While working on this video, I kept wondering why pants were even gendered, and if women's pants pockets were never going to change, was there anything stopping me from buying men's pants instead? So I hopped on a call with a friend who has first-hand experience designing clothes.
My name is Gloria Allen. I have a sewing DIY channel on YouTube, and I'm on all the socials, and I teach people how to sew. So let's say pants, for example. The body shape of a woman's typically different than men. The hip-to-waist ratio, for example, like women usually have more narrow waist and a wider hip, versus men just kind of have a straight figure. There are other things like the rise.
You might have heard the term rise in reference to low-rise or high-rise jeans, but let me show you what it is. Okay, here's a pair of pants. This is the rise, the distance from the waistband to the crotch. This is the front rise, this is the back rise. They're different because you have a butt. Generally, men's pants have more rise, which can impact the fit, but it isn't insurmountable.
If you can find a pair of pants that fit your hips, then there's going to be a bit of a gap at the waist, because women typically have more narrow waist. You're going to have a gap at the back. It can be solved with one stitch in the back with a pleat. If you try too much, for example, if pants are way too big at the waist and you try to cinch it in, you might end up with like a pointed butt. Like it might just be more triangular. If anyone's trying to learn how to sew, alter, or make clothes from scratch, YouTube University is the best place. There are so many educators out there, myself included. For my videos at least, I specifically try to make videos for beginners, so someone with zero experience can sew any of my kits. My goal is to make sewing as accessible as possible to everyone.
So while it sucks to know that women's pockets are likely doomed, it's good to know that the next time I'm looking for a pair of pants with functional pockets, I can just go shop at the men's section and do some light tailoring. I don't have a BBL, I'm built like a rectangle, so it's not going to be a problem. And I know that this is a band-aid solution, but it beats the actual band-aids I have to wear because I stabbed my fingers so many times while trying to make this pair of pants from scratch. Now with our questions answered, there was only one thing left to do. Hello, friends.
Hello.
Why have you called me at such an unreasonable hour?
Because I solved sexism.
Wow, big feet.
Do you see it?
Are you wearing an apron?
I love your little oven mitts.
I hate you guys. These are pockets throughout history, and I'm here to show you that I can fit things in these. Are you ready?
You look like a jester.
Starting with not a half-liter water bottle, a full-liter water bottle.
There's no way that's fitting in your pocket.
A promising start.
How's that even possible?
Did you want a snack?
Okay, you gotta throw a gaming controller in there.
Let's do a little medieval pocket, shall we?
What is going on right now?
Oh, you need to do some audio-visual work? I have a camera.
Well, that's not a pocket, is it?
I have a Zoom H5.
This is a bag.
Oh, this is getting really heavy, actually.
You're holding one of the pockets.
I have to agree with him on that one.
Fine, I'll put it down. Also because I'm a little bit worried that it's gonna break.
Wait, she doesn't have the essentials in her pocket. She just took advantage.
Oh, yeah.
The death life of Great American cities?
You should have weighed yourself before you did this. That's
Sounds like there's no room. Sounds like you don't have enough room.
There we go.
It's sticking out.
I can fit in thousands of books with an e-reader.
I feel like you're on the verge of a breakdown.
I think we're witnessing it right now.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Is this a win?
I fix pockets.
Is this a win?
The last thing I need, my phone. Goodbye. Thanks again to Delete Me for sponsoring a portion of this video, and thank you for watching.
Guys, there's so much room in here. Wow.
At what cost?
Wow.
Open the gate!
That's Mr. Beast, and this is how he's about to pull off the highest budget, biggest production YouTube video ever created.
Swimming this field is 2,000 contestants. Look up, it's 2,000 people competing for that $5 billion.
So how on earth do you run and record a competition show for this many people? And the biggest question, how much does it cost to pull all of this off? Well, it wasn't without some very real challenges, but one thing's for sure, from a technical perspective, this is absolutely insane.
And I'm giving him all access to everything behind the scenes, from the cameras, the logistics, and he's gonna show it all to you.
And also, that's $5 million real dollars.
Don't rob me.
So there are 4 challenges that the contestants are going to be going through. This is us just before the first.
I gathered all the guards over here so you can test them. They're not supposed to show motion. Basically, just like mannequins.
You guys are not supposed to speak. This feels mean.
They're not gonna talk.
But they are going to dance if you catch them after hours.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's not his real skin.
Time for challenge 1, in which the contestants had to split up into 5 groups, and each group had to pull up a very heavy boulder as fast as they could. Every person in the losing team gets eliminated. I realize there's 2,000 contestants behind me shouting and screaming, but this is the coolest thing to me right now. So this structure right here has been custom built for this challenge to basically regulate the amount of pulling force required to lift that boulder. So the rope feeds through this contraption before it goes out to the contestants, and the way that it's weaved through on the inside determines how easy it is to pull. So just to give you an idea of how important this is, the Beast team originally set this mechanism up to require 32,000 newtons of pulling force. But it's only as they started to playtest it a few days before, with a whole extra crew of playtesters, by the way. But they realized 32,000 newtons is going to take people way too long for the challenge to be fun to watch. So just by weaving this rope through the contraption in a slightly different way, they could quickly lower the required pulling force to just 10,000. Oh, and also, this microphone here is sat there specifically to capture just the sound effect of the rope being pulled. It's a little bit crazy just how many things you have to think about if you want to do this right. Even literally the flooring. Jimmy decided that he wanted this place to look like a coliseum, so they pulled out every single bit of astroturf from it, and then they've covered it with these olive pits to basically give it that cinematic sand being thrown up feeling when people are running around through it.
This is the box camera we're using to adjudicate. As soon as one of these boulders crosses the finish line, that's the winner, and so we'll be able to see from this camera which boulders last, and that team's eliminated.
It didn't even occur to me that you need adjudication cameras.
We set our camera at the same height as this finish line, so we can see exactly who won. They're both at 80 feet.
So every single contestant also has an NFC wristband that they're scanning to keep track of who's in the game and who's out of the game.
When you're out, they'll know that you need to go out too.
If you leave.
We're not leaving.
You're not leaving.
We're not leaving.
Okay. It took around 3 hours after revealing this first game before the thing actually kicked off. Partly to give the teams time to strategize, partly because everything takes longer than you expect when you're trying to organize this many people.
Wow.
This game genuinely lasted about 15 seconds in total, and it was specifically designed to be that way.
Oh my god.
That's literally it. Red team is done.
You just walked out on this chance to win $5 million.
We're not leaving. I can't believe how quickly that happened. Mr. Beast wanted to make sure that the first game people saw was as easy to explain as possible and as quick to finish as possible. Not so much for people here, but more so that the viewers of the final video are able to get easily invested without feeling like they're suddenly having to learn something really complicated. You can actually see people in that queue. They're so defeated. Some of them are crying. You know when you watch Mr. Beast videos online and you think, it can't be like that in real life. The feeling is very much here. Hey, what's up? I love you too. You all watch our videos?
Love your video.
Oh my god, Ricky. You guys must feel like top of the world right now.
It's so nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking.
Does that scare you, like seeing what the other teams can do?
I can't be scared. We're a part of history here.
Well, I'm rooting for you guys personally because you're fans.
Yellow team. You heard that? Yellow team. Yellow team.
Yep, I heard that. All right, yellow team for the win. And now, while we waited for game 2 to start, now felt like as good a time as any to head to the main camera room to see the belly of the beast. And while camera team were out actually filming the show, who better to show us this room than Mr. Tariq?
Since the last time I saw you, a lot's changed from the equipment to how we go about things to lighting. You've seen the scale of the projects. It has to be better. And Jimmy's not as particular about the cameras anymore.
So he used to be really in the weeds with it.
Now it's like, I trust. I like it. So these are just the ground cameras. They'll be for talent. They'll be just for close-ups on any of the contestants, just like a grab and go, run, and capture that moment.
This is very rigged up.
Very rigged up, yeah.
I noticed every single one of these cameras has a light on it.
Darker images don't perform better retention-wise, at least is what we've learned. And then we have the time code here, just so we make sure everything's time-coded.
Ah, yes, the time code. So they bought one of these devices to plug into every camera on the shoot for one job.
So whenever it goes to editing, they know exactly what happened and when it happened. So for example, if somebody falls and it's a really funny moment,
every single camera you can just search for that second, and you'll have 100 viewpoints of that one shot.
Almost 500 for this.
Almost 500. Yeah, I'm curious how the rig has evolved.
A lot heavier. We have more stuff, especially like tailored for editing, better mic, the signal, just makes it easier to grab it and just get everything you need in one shot.
Holding this for about 5 minutes, I can see why there's an extra effect.
Oh yeah, I mean you get some strong shoulders.
So that's the run and gun cameras. There's 28 of those, and they are pretty high spec, totaling $100,000 in value. Only one of these is a tiny bit different is Mr. Beast's personal camera rig, which has 2 lights on it instead of 1 to make him the brightest thing on screen, so that your eyes are naturally drawn towards him. There's a whole cornucopia of lenses, and they all have different purposes. You guys use GoPros a lot. The GoPros capture like a very different kind of shot to something like this. Is there a difference in what shots you use, what purpose?
Emotional shots, we try to do telephoto, so we put somebody on the other side and just zoom in on their face as much as you can, and then just kind of get that reaction.
You'll see a lot of the most vulnerable, real moments on Mr. Beast's videos being captured like this, because the camera is so far away that the contestant isn't spotting it, and so isn't acting for it. But that is far from the full suite of camera gear here. There's 35 Sony FX9 cinema cameras dotted all around the stadium to get the main wide fixed shots of the games. There's 10 pan-tilt zoom or PTZ cameras, which are also fixed in place but can be remotely operated to control what they're looking at. 20 DJI Osmos for handing to the contestants who vlog certain sequences, since they are literally the easiest cameras to operate. All rounded off with 400, I kid you not, 400 GoPros. They use these because they're small enough to fit inside of things and also just blend into the background, so they don't appear in the rest of the camera's shots. And that's not even factoring in all of the accessories, like power banks for every single GoPro, and also the proper flagship camera gear, like the box cameras, the sky cameras, and a whole army of drones, but we are getting to that. I noticed everyone's got delightful little nicknames for different sections. And so hot and cold for this battery section, I assume hot means fully charged, cold means empty? Yes. It's exceptionally organized. You can tell this is someone's job to create this pile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tariq then took us to Mac, who is the lead editor of the Mr. Beast team.
Well, he's so tall, man. He's all dressed up, he's tall, he pulls me out in my underwear, and I'm all short. Sticks me right on camera. I am not short.
That's all we came here for. Yeah. And now that we've established that Mac definitely isn't short, I thought, well, Mr. Beast videos are pretty much the most consistently highly viewed videos on the internet. So given how involved Mac is, especially in the intros of them, how do these guys make sure that they perfectly capture your attention at the start?
The way we look at intros, basically just like a continuation of the thumbnail. Most people don't have YouTube Premium, right? Yeah. So they'll click on a video, then they'll watch like a minute ad or 5 seconds, skip it, whatever they do. They will literally forget what they click on.
So what kind of things have you thought about with this video specifically, the intro?
We were thinking about basically flying camera back instead of flying camera forward. I want to see Jimmy's face. I want to see the $5 million cash prize, and I also want to communicate spectacle.
The other thing I thought was really interesting about the intro shot is they filmed it on 2 separate occasions across 6 hours of time. Given that the intro is the single most important 10 seconds of the entire video, these guys actually set up and recorded the full thing once before any contestants even arrived, when they had the time to make sure that they have one intro that they know works, but then once again with all the contestants, just in case that take ends up having better energy.
Is there a shortage of shirts? I just keep ripping them. I'm not this short.
I'll tell you what isn't short, the amount of footage that these guys as editors have to get through, but there's a solution to that.
We have the best editors in the world. If we have 10 hours of footage, they get sunk, the assistant editors will take it down to 2 hours of what's usable. Like a really great editor that can do videos at this level, I can't find them anywhere. And so preserving them and preventing them from burning out as much as possible is like the name of the game.
Thank you.
Did you realize I love your videos, by the way? Actually, your editors are really good.
Don't get any ideas, man.
You guys looking to jump ship? No,
Let me tell you something.
We're going to follow it for tonight after the first challenge.
The timing on this is absolutely crazy. My brain is so fried, it doesn't feel like 3:42 a.m.
Yeah.
I guess there's fluorescent lighting all around the place. Can you see my face here, by the way? This is the face of a man who's going to wait for nearly 24 hours because of the sudden decision change today to switch from day filming to night filming. In fact, scheduling just generally was easily one of the toughest parts of the shoot, because instead of the original plan of 2 days of filming, it actually ended up being 3 nights. Not to even mention the extra 3 days around those 3 nights that everyone involved in the shoot had to make sure they were always ready for. Not easy for anyone involved, contestants included.
I'm just kind of used to it. Usually we end up filming deep into the night like this. At night, I can point lights and control where your focus is. During the day, you see everything. So I prefer to film at night. I mean, it's pretty brutal. Rest up.
Okay, night 2, game 2. So in this game, contestants will stand around a whole load of briefcases. They look at a board which will tell them which briefcase is safe and which will get them eliminated, and then they will have to get to one of those safe briefcases before anyone else can.
So what's going through your mind right now? Well, honestly, when I make sure the briefcases get put out right, I just want to make sure it all looks good. So we have a lot riding on this shoot.
One thing you talk about a lot is the way you tell stories. Is that changing?
Go watch a Mr. Beast video from 3 years ago. I'll be like 50% louder. It'll be like 50% faster. Yeah, and you'll get like a headache.
You're making like a purposeful effort. In this video, for example, just to slow down.
Exactly.
Let some moments just sit.
Trust that people will watch because, you know, they're very invested in the story. As opposed to like being tricked to watch because there's like cut. What time is it right now? It's only like 10, right?
Actually, yes, 9 p.m.
Oh yeah, this is pretty early. This is great.
Like, I actually should be awake right now. That's crazy.
Did you talk to people who got out? I felt so bad.
Yeah, there was some pretty weird tears.
We tried to make it easier on them by giving everyone $2,000. That way everyone at least had something to go home with. The first challenge, we eliminated 400 people. And since we gave each of them $2,000, that's $800,000.
The money isn't the only thing you guys have to think about when people are eliminated. Do you remember these RFID bracelets? Well, this is where they come in again. There's some sort of checkout process as well.
When they entered the arena, we scanned, so we knew they were here. Baby. So we counted that we had 2,000 exactly. Then we could start the game. Then when they got into teams.
Oh, so when they sorted themselves, you added that data onto their RFIDs so that your system knows exactly which
team, green team, yellow team. Then we have all those lists ready. And so same as elimination. So all of the red team was eliminated, even though we knew it was red team, just to be absolutely sure, we scanned every single one on the way out.
Wow.
Then we know if somebody's missing in the stadium.
Is this because you've been burned before on previous games?
People hide. Did you see the end of that game? Jimmy had to call her up to tell her that, oh, come on, red team's out.
She was a red team contestant who was trying to stay.
Trying to stay in the game. Yeah, so the bracelets are really a way for us to keep track of everybody.
Now, if you already thought the shoot was a complicated affair, you have not seen the start of it, because it was at this point that I was introduced to a whole new branch of the operation. This is Emily, and she is a story producer.
Having all of us here and just taking notes of key moments that happen, a little flow through here that would make good content, it just overall helps the post-production process.
So the entire role of these guys is to look and to listen to what's happening on the field, to try and figure out what the story is going to be while the video is still being shot, so that by the time it ends up in the post-production editing stage, that team can be as efficient as possible. Part of the recruitment process, you ask people to send a 1-minute video of themselves, and you use that to judge their character and their energy. And so you're saying as part of that, you pick top-tier people, and you're like, you get a microphone.
Yes, 40 contestants are mic'd up out of the 2,000. This board was the initial idea of who would get mic'd up. I think as they meet the people and as people like show their true selves on the field, they'll switch it out.
This is absolutely crazy. This is movie investigation pinboard type of it.
Once people are eliminated, they'll re-mic other people. Obviously, like, things change, the mics change. So, like, we have people designated to go out there and keep track of who gets re-mic'd, which helps us, like, tremendously during the post-production process.
You've got heroes, villains, family, and then others. You've not just pegged people as being main characters, but you pegged that they've got a personality trait that might make them a villain.
Yes.
So yeah, you can't predict the stories that will form. You can predict the people who are most likely to form them. Those people are given the microphones. That's fascinating. Are you listening to those people in real time?
On the average, each video will have one person listening. So we have 6 people, and then I'm doing like visuals right now. Everyone gets 7 people to listen to, so that instead of listening to 40 people at once, you only have to listen to 7 people.
So this is the live universal timecode.
Yes.
And that's synced with all the cameras, so you know exactly what's shooting when. And then these are the notes the story editor is leading. So this means that when the editors get the footage, it will not just automatically slot in at the exact time that each shot was actually taken, but they will also get all of this guiding information from the story producers, so they know specifically what to look for within those shots. Everything's been thought about.
Yes.
So that's where all the story producers hang out. This is basically Jimmy's private viewing suite. So whoa, it's basically the same thing, but this room is specifically designed for Jimmy to come and have a kind of one glance view of every single thing that's happening, so you can give really quick feedback in between him being on camera. There's a lot of screens here. So there's 18 TVs in this one room. Quite impressed with the bezels on these as well. It almost looks like one continuous video wall. They bring out the briefcases for the next game. Probably good. And you know what's extra crazy about this? Because everything that happens in the stadium is recorded and might end up being part of the video, even the setup of things needs to be a rehearsal fair. It took 100 people nearly an entire day just practicing how to set this one game up, lining up these briefcases, figuring out how to enter the stadium in an organized way, timing the process to make sure it doesn't drag, and also measuring to make sure that every table was exactly equidistant.
I hate when it's like day of and we do those things and it's not choreographed because it just looks very amateur. When it's all timed and choreographed, then we can time lapse it. Like, bring out the briefcases! But if it's not, I'll like sped up time lapse. So it has to come out in an organized way. That looks good when it's sped up. Yeah, or then it just looks weird. It's perfect for attention. Oh my god, I love when this speaks. I should say no. Oh my god, is that on camera? Yes. No, it's not. Yes, it'll be there right now. Please. Go. 3, 2, 1. Do those things and it's not choreographed because it just looks very amateur. When it's all timed and choreographed, then we can time lapse it. Like, bring out the briefcases! But if it's not, I'll like sped up time lapse. So it has to come out in an organized way. That looks good when it's sped up. Yeah, or then it just looks weird. It's perfect for attention. Oh my god, I love when this speaks. I should say no. Oh my god, is that on camera? Yes. No, it's not. Yes, it'll be there right now. Please. Go. 3, 2, 1. It's like I see people. Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1. Reveal!
I can't believe you're getting reactions like this at 4 a.m. in the morning. Now seeing this game being filmed, there's another question that's been looming on my mind. Where does all the footage from all of these cameras actually go? This is the DIT room. These guys are, I guess you could say, the very important but very unsung heroes of this project, because their entire job is to make sure that no piece of footage goes missing, which when there's like 500 cameras on a shoot is a bit of a logistical problem. So the whole process starts with these drives. Someone will physically run into this room with a box full of these drives. What these guys are doing is taking the footage on that drive and categorizing it based on which game that footage is from, which camera recorded that footage, and which type of microphone picked up the audio of that footage, which sounds like an absolute nightmare of a task, but they're doing it so that when the editors are editing the footage, all they need to do is just think which bit of footage do I need, as opposed to having to run through like 100 different folders to find it. It will make the edit like 10 times faster. Right, this is where fun begins. They plug these drives into their computers, which are all Mac Studios, by the way, because well, I'm told they don't like Windows. But then those Mac Studios are wired into something called an ingest station, which is 8 very large hard drives. Every single one is 20 terabytes, meaning that one ingest station has a max capacity of 160. And then you realize that there's 20 of these ingest stations in this room, so 3.2 petabytes of storage. But it gets crazier. Because they're shooting this show for Amazon, Amazon have insisted that they have at least 3 layers of backup for every single bit of footage. So, as well as these ingest stations, every single drive is never getting erased. It will just stay as a permanent hard copy of everything that's been recorded. And then every single one of these ingest stations has a fiber cable coming out the back of it. This is a very fast connection. We're talking 25 gigabits per second. There's a very specific reason for this fiber cable, and we can actually follow it out of the room. Way out of the room. Still going, still going, still going. And you follow that cable all the way around, and you end up with this, which is basically just one massive server. And that serves as the third layer of backup. It almost seems stupid just how many precautions are being taken. But then when you start to add up how much they're spending to make the show, it starts to make sense how much they're spending to keep the show. This room is actually particularly cool for a few more reasons, because these are video recording boxes. So you know how it normally works with a camera. You record onto an SD card that's inserted inside. But these guys are doing it a little bit differently, because every single one of the fixed cameras dotted around the stadium is physically wired all the way across the stadium into these boxes. And that has 2 pretty major benefits. One, that instead of recording on tiny fiddly little SD cards, they can record onto proper drives. But also 2, some of these cameras are, no joke, 100 meters up in the air. So imagine how much manpower it would require to individually keep track of every single camera so that it doesn't run out of storage, and then swap over the SD cards when it does. But with this setup, one person could literally man everything. This is also super interesting. So because this recording actually happens over a really long time, like I think we recorded at 10 p.m, it's now 3:12 in the morning, the lighting changes. So this guy over here is actually in real time adjusting the color temperature, the black levels, the saturation of the cameras to make sure that they stay consistent, both as the time of day changes, but also between the many different types of cameras being used on the shoot. Because if you just left each one alone, they would all naturally take footage that looks slightly different to each other. This is the video router. So it's the box in which every single one of the video signals that you see comes through first to be able to be distributed to all these separate monitors. So long story short, if this box goes down, so does the entire video, which is why there's a 24/7 fan just blowing cool air at it. So do you remember the pan-tilt zoom cameras that we talked about earlier? Well, this room is also where those are being remotely operated from. And the beauty of these cameras is they allow you to follow the action. So let's say I find a disruption happening with these briefcases. I can find where that disruption is happening, and then I can just zoom in all the way onto that disruption. So it's allowing me from a distance to create these really stable cinematic sub-stories within the bigger story. That gets so close. You forget that the camera is positioned right on the very end of the stadium. It's just blowing my mind. All of this is the back end for one YouTube video.
Just to be super clear, do not GO until I actually say the word GO.
He's our guy.
Look up at the screen. All right, there you go. Oh, actually, I said it. You're right. Oops.
Oh my god.
I messed up, but hey,
I think it's
have to be great.
How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Yeah, I can see it on your face. Is it you versus every single person around you?
Everyone thinks I'm out.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you feel if you are?
It's fine. It's my dad's birthday today.
Is that worth losing $5 million?
It's literally called Rick E.
3, 2, 1. Oh, everything.
And with that, I decided that's enough these games for today. Too much coverage. The time had come. It was time for the third, final, and most chaotic night of all, starting with the flag game, where all contestants are going to line up on one side of the field, and each round a varying number of flags are brought into the middle. Contestants have to decide which round they're going to make a run for it, and when they do, they have to make sure they grab a flag while they're at it, or they're out, knowing that in total there aren't going to be enough flags for every player.
We're going to make the first like 2 or 3 like really easy so they get it, and after that, we're going to do dozens of rounds. I want you guys to be super dumb.
Is there a dominant strategy, you think?
There's a lot of strategy to this. I would probably pick one quadrant and just be like, well, there's a flag here, I'm going no matter what, I'm going no matter what. I like really try to talk everyone around you out of it.
It was also at this point that I managed to get hold of something that you never really get to see. So these are pre-visualizations of the Amazon thumbnail, and it's absolutely crazy. Like, how These were pretty visualizations.
Mr. Who's Watch does not drop things.
There's a clear favorite so far. I think this one wins. They have one version of this thumbnail poster image based on like 15 of the most popular movies and games, from Fortnite to Money Heist to How to Train Your Dragon. And this is the one they ended up picking from. Before long, it was time for the flag game to begin.
As soon as I blow this horn, the round will begin.
I would lie to you, I found this game absolutely fascinating to watch.
Oh, look, those two are racing for flag 1.
It started off so organized with a few of the louder people basically making it very clear to the others around them that they were going to run for it so that no one else tries to. But then as the game went on, you start to notice that order breaking down because you can't stay on the sideline forever because they will just run out of flags. So this just got more and more chaotic.
There's a tiny little drone up there zipping around the stadium. I think we should find out who's flying it. Wait, he's up there. He literally looks like an Imperial staffing commander. I think this is the one we've seen zipping all around the stadium like extremely quickly.
Yeah, this one as well.
Oh yeah, this looks very like homemade almost.
Yeah, they're all custom built.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
You made them?
Yeah, custom built, and then the gimbals are my designs.
Who are you?
Nothing drum. A few years ago, I tried out the idea of using a head tracking tilt gimbal just to see if it would help with camera correction, and it ended up just being so much better than I expected.
You didn't just build the drones, you built the entire system.
The head tracking system. His tilt following my head.
Yeah. Wow.
Previously, FPV's always flown fixed angle, which is where the piloting camera and usually GoPro are fixed to the drone. But the problem is that really limits the shots you can get. You can't like look down or anything.
Yeah.
With this gives you a full 5 degrees of freedom, which pretty much means you can accelerate in any direction while looking in any direction.
So you're controlling the movement with this controller.
Yeah, exactly.
And your head is looking up and down.
The movement is controlled by controller. Tilt movement is via head tracking.
There's two cameras here. One is the GoPro itself. One is down here. What is that doing?
So this is our piloting cam. This is what I'm seeing in my goggles, and then this is our recording cam.
Of course, right, because you can't stream directly with the GoPro.
Yeah, exactly.
That is absolutely incredible. So this compared to like the big sky cam that's overhead. What's the perk of this?
Perk of this is I can get inside of the crowd. I'm not limited by my like range. I can go up into the stands, dive in.
Do you get dangerously close for fun?
Yeah.
So because there's less flags in this round, you can give him permission to take off with the bigger drone. You know, because if there's like 100 across the field, you've got a pretty good chance without whacking someone in the face.
Whoa.
Oh my god, let's go have a look at the footage. That is absolutely amazing. So there's two types of drones being used on the shoot. They've got 10 of the more standard DJI drones. And if you look here, you can see that those are the ones responsible for these slower, more cinematic shots. But then this guy with his first-person view drone, his job is to get really close and get these super unique, in-crowd, action-packed chaos shots.
If you have an idea and you think it might or might not work, it's worth exploring. Because I didn't think this would work before I tried it, and now it's changed my life. So it's like,
wow, good for you, man. That's cool.
Let's see come true.
Oh yeah, also, look a little closer at the seats. In every single one of these 65,000 seats in the stadium, just for this video, these guys printed out and fitted a full-size Slenderman, only for the production team to later decide, actually no, that looks a little weird, well that's a shocker, and then send people out for a second time to flip every single one of those 65,000 Slendermen around to the blank side. So now you only see their faces when you're up in the stands. But now it's time to get closer to the most serious pieces of camera gear on this shoot. This is the kind of stuff that you don't normally get to see like this. Starting with the sky camera, which is being controlled from a box all the way in the top corner of the stadium.
So this is the aerial camera room. This is, I guess, where the magic happens.
Yeah.
You guys are the sole controllers of these sky cams.
Yeah. Get the pilot right here. I move the camera rig in space, up, down, left, right. My operator Kirby over there pans, tilts, zooms, focuses, and gives us the best shot as possible.
Oh, I see. It's like a tank turret versus driver.
Exactly. Catchy helicopter.
I've never heard the comparison together.
There we go.
Wow. This is some of the most beautiful footage I've seen in my life. What makes this different to a drone?
Safer, can't ever fall out of the air and hit anybody. We have a larger camera, larger sensor, larger lens, so we can create a little bit better image than most drones can.
Explain to me what's happening on this computer.
This is our fly space. I can always glance at that, and I'm 56 feet above the turf here.
Is that important because you're trying to stay out of the way of other cameras and their shots? And
exactly. Yeah. So the coordinates that we use when we first get here, we build that fly space, and I can put walls, barriers, obstacles to keep us safe from hitting stuff. So for instance, the boulder structure over there, I have a wall right here. These yellow ones are ramps, so we can go up into the sets and not run right into the pile of money.
Yeah. And so the camera will now do that automatically now that you've set those.
Indeed.
So when you go from green to yellow, it will automatically lift if it's too low.
That's right.
Wow, that's a smart bit of kit. And this is fascinating watching you two guys talk to each other because you're both controlling different parts of this camera. Are you telepathic?
We've done enough games together that we kind of think along the same wavelength. If he's flying a certain direction, I know what kind of look is possible from that angle that he's got the rig physically at, so that I just hand or tilt, zoom, whatever, and it makes the shot look good. It's like good dance partners. The longer they've been dancing together, the better they can read what the other one's about to do.
You two are killing on the dance floor. So I'm seeing something, and it's upsetting me a little bit. Are you recording in 1080p?
No, they are receiving 4K.
Just 1080p to the monitors, so that the throughput is limited.
This is just for us.
Because that would be a massive waste.
Yes. Indeed it would.
I'm so relieved.
But it's easy to forget, this show isn't just about filming a video. It's a very real tournament with very real stakes. So as you had a taste of earlier, these guys also have to make sure that there are proper systems in place for adjudication. So anytime two contestants think that they're the ones who touched a flag first, there's a whole squadron of staff who have to run to that big DIT storage room. They have to take the drive to have the footage on. They have to run them back to the stadium and then go through that footage from several other fixed cameras, frame by frame, until each dispute is resolved.
And grabs it first.
Yeah.
The guy on the right would be the one that has possession.
Yeah.
This is stuff you don't see in the final Mr. Beast video, but there are disputes literally every round of every game, and you can't move on to the next one until each one is resolved, which, as you can imagine, is another reason why there is so much waiting around when you're on set. Also, do you notice how every single person working here is wearing a headset? Well, each of those is connected to one of these, called a bolero, which basically allows you to talk to any other person in the stadium immediately without even needing to dial a phone number.
It's a version of like a walkie/telephone. So you've got a walkie, which normally you talk one at a time. This is kind of like that, but I can talk over you.
This gets rid of the whole over and out Roger.
Yes, they're called comms or PLs, which stands for party line, which is a throwback to early phone lines when you have a whole neighborhood or a whole group of people, they're all on the same phone number. Like on your pad here, all the camera guys are on that button.
So it's one button to talk to everyone who's been assigned as a camera.
Everyone who has that button. We also do a lot of like deployment of antennas. There's one right there. So those are all over the venue.
And you guys have installed these all yourselves?
Yeah, a group of 5 guys here.
So you basically created your own mobile phone network inside the stadium just for this one video.
And that's a wrap on game 3. And since the team were also determined to not let this go on for another day, it was very rapidly time to set up for the final game. Well, I say very rapidly. Like I said earlier, everything does take way longer than you think. But, you know, it took 3 hours to get everything for this game into position instead of 24. So this final game, which is the game that determines who ends up making it to the main Amazon Prime show, is a bit of a returning classic on the Mr. Beast channel. This is Last to Leave. So contestants split into teams, and each team stands on a pillar. Except they're not really teams, because Mr. Beast will then offer bribes of an increasing value until someone in one of those pillars jumps off, accepts the money for themselves, and condemns the rest of their team to lose.
At the end of this challenge, one of you will backstab your entire team.
And to see this game in action, we headed to one of the box cameras.
Wow. Look at that thing. When you're on the ground, it all feels like chaos, but from up here, you can see the action in a very different way. So we've been told that this guy is apparently planning to sabotage the entire event.
And so the story producers have let this trained operator of the box cam know that, so he is staying locked onto this guy like a hawk. Wait to see what he does.
Just to try and convey the gravity of this piece of technology. This is a 16mm to 35mm lens, which basically means you can go ultra wide at 16mm or decently zoomed in at 35. This camera right here is 8.4mm to 832. These are absolutely bonkers numbers. Like the kind of numbers that allow you to view the entire stadium in one shot, or go all the way to someone's face who's standing on the opposite side of it.
And so the total price of one of these bad boys, $100,000 each, and there's 8 of them.
The final game begins.
Reveal what the first prize will be. It'll be $5,000.
So takers are going to have to up the stage.
I'll give you $50,000.
Oh, it's started yet. The second he announced it, absolute carnage. Didn't start the timer yet. Oh my gosh. No, because the timer hadn't started yet. And that was a very strange wrap on Game 4. So now, just before we get to the final cost of this entire production, the only question left unanswered is this $5 million in cash.
I cannot believe they actually did that with real money. You actually can't get through there without trampling on $1,000 bills.
How did they actually get it?
So this, Mr. Beast from JP Morgan Chase, total is $5 million.
You feeling so?
Should we?
I mean, probably wouldn't notice. What do you think of it?
What do I think of $5 million in cash?
Yeah.
How does it work to get that amount of money in cash? Because that's obviously not a normal thing that JP Morgan approach with.
Yeah, so it goes all the way to the top, and then you bring armored trucks with like a little militia to your studio and drop it off.
That's a fun DTS.
So that's how they get $5 million. As for how they keep it,
so there's stadium security on the outside, police on the inside, on the trucks.
2 security guys around the clock that just sit and watch.
So if someone made a run for it, they would just tackle them.
It's in ones. It's hard to run with a lot of ones. I don't know if you've ever tried to lift ones.
No, not that many.
Well, just one of our 10K briefcases, probably 4 pounds. And so if you run with it, I can catch you. We estimate on the stage right now is 12,000 pounds and more.
12,000 pounds. That's the equivalent of 2 adult African elephants worth of pure paper notes.
We did the math so they could build the structure.
Are there cameras specifically trained on that money as well?
Yes, we put extras in place.
We spent this entire 3 days running around counting up the value of all the equipment and tech that we've seen.
And so the final cost to make this one YouTube video is, well, we forgot a few things. We got all the staff costs. We got costumes, which remember, every single person here needs an outfit which is printed in-house and has to be fitted. We got the cost for all equipment used in each game, every boulder, every briefcase, and so on. We've got the contestant costs.
2,000 flights, 2,000 hotel rooms.
I love how casually you say that.
2,000 meals 3 times a day over the course of a week.
Not to mention a total of $2 million just in money given to the contestants who got out for this one episode, plus the insane audio gear, just to make sure that everyone's voice is picked up and sounds good on video.
If you had to guess the audio gear in this entire video, what is it worth? Oh, millions of dollars.
Then also stuff like the months of pre-prep that had to go into designing every game, the cost of the Raiders Stadium, the place where the Super Bowl was held, it goes on and on and on. But there's quite a big saving from the fact that a lot of the equipment you see here is being rented as opposed to bought, leaving the final cost figure as $14 million for the video and $19 million if you include the $5 million prize money.
The Indian ride-hailing sector is one of the toughest sectors to be in. 2 of the biggest companies in it have spent over a decade in this business, and during this time, they've raised billions of dollars and spent it. But neither of them has made any profit till now. Now, the main reason behind this is that both of these companies had to create a market from scratch, and to do this, they had to incentivize both the drivers and customers. That's why it took so much time and money for them to do it. This is when an Indian company found an Indian solution to the mobility business. See, India is a 2-wheeler market with 75% of all vehicles being 2-wheelers, and that's when 3 friends started a bike taxi business and named it Rapido. And the thing with Rapido is that they learned from all the mistakes of Ola and Uber and created a very lean and cost-effective way to run a business. In fact, Rapido has raised 1/10 of the money of Ola, but it has surpassed it to become the second biggest ride-hailing company in India, only after Uber. And now Rapido is also using its fleet to get into the delivery business. They already have a partnership with Swiggy and are now talking to quick commerce companies like Zepto too. And it's mainly because Rapido has built a loyal base of millions of driver partners, and now the company is doing everything it can to increase their incomes. So in this video, let's understand what has Rapido done right. Why did it decide to enter a segment that is so cutthroat, and how did starting with a bike business help them compete successfully with Ola and Uber? Let's understand all this in this episode of Backstage with Millionaires. Today when we think of Rapido, we think of a ride-hailing company. A company that started as a bike taxi business and is today competing with Ola and Uber. But that wasn't always the case. In fact, Rapido did not start as a ride-hailing business at all. Its founders were passionate about solving the logistics scene in India. In 2014, they came together to start an intra-city logistics company, The Carrier. Think of it like today's Porter, where they had a fleet of trucks and allowed businesses to move their stuff inside a city. Now that business was doing really well, and in just 1 year of starting it, the team had raised 1.5 crore rupees in funding, had 300 vehicles in their network, and fulfilled 1,000 orders a month from big customers like Flipkart and Delivery. The business was profitable, but they were still looking for a change. Why? Here is Arvind explaining the reason to your story, Shraddha Sharma.
When we're putting the from Carrier to Rapido, we know that what we don't want to do. We don't want to do. We want to run
How many enough?
when we less trucking businesses.
Fortnite. भ्यालोरेन्ट आइज यार त यार झ्याउलाई छ के तँलाई कुर्दा कुर्दा अब मसँग दुईटा के भन्छ उसको के अरे EA को अकाउन्ट छ हैन के भन्छ उ भएको FIFA तिनीहरु काउन्टर स्ट्राइक खेलेछन् के त्यही भएर मलाई खेल्दिन काउन्टर स्ट्राइक तिनीहरुले 20 के भन्छ अहिले चाहिँ $20 खर्च गर्नुपर्छ पहिला मिल्थ्यो त्यो तिनीहरुले चाहिँ प्रिमियम खेल्छन् त्यसको लागि $20 खर्च गर्नुपर्छ मैले गर्दिन त्यो खर्च तैँले मलाई उ कहिले बनाइदिन्छस् भन् त थम्बनेल ल ल हैन मलाई टाइम चाहियो थम्बनेल चाहियो मलाई ट्याक्क सुत्छु टाउको दुख्यो यस्तो निन्द्रा लागिरहेको मलाई खेल्न नि मन छैन गुड नाइट स्ट्रिम गुड नाइट